guys, my name is Amanda, for those of you who do not know me, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I used to put out a lot of faith-based content a few years ago, and then I just kind of took a break and did some other stuff, but that doesn't mean that I just lost my faith. I definitely have kept it throughout the years, definitely have ups and downs with it, just like some other people, I guess not everyone, but other people. But yeah, just more recently, I did a challenge kind of thing with my church where we read a chapter in Matthew specifically every day for the last 30 days. And I just wanted to share a couple things that really stood out to me and just really helped grow my faith and almost view God differently, in the hopes that maybe someone else would also gain something from it like I did. So the first thing they did, they give us this little sheet where there's some different questions, and there's 4 different questions, but the 2 that stood out to me the most was, what does this passage tell me about God? And is there a next step God is prompting me to take in my life? And so a lot of times, at least for myself, I used to read the Bible. Like, that's something I've always done, but I would just kind of read it to read it. And I'd be like, oh, like, that's a cool story, and then move on with my life. I never actually sat and reflected on, what does this tell me about God? Like, what does this show me in his character, in his love for us, just who he is as a person? And that like changed the game for reading the Bible for me. So I just think that's so cool, something I'm definitely going to implement going forward. But a few things stood out to me. So number 1, just seriously how much he values us having faith in him. Like it says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, like literally a teeny little mustard seed, that can move mountains. And so just practicing the fact that God wants good things for us. Like, of course, we live in a fallen world and really crappy things happen. Like, terrible things happen that don't make sense, that are heartbreaking and horrible. But that doesn't mean that God isn't a good God and that he doesn't still have good plans for our life and want to redeem those bad things. And it's like, if we just go to him with even faith the size of a mustard seed, that he can turn anything around. He can heal our hearts. He can help us in any way that we ask. We just have to do that. Another thing that stood out to me was just how caring God is, like especially reading the Gospels and Jesus walking on this earth. Like, obviously God is literally love, but just all the times he went out of his way to heal people. Like, that's literally what he was sent here for, to like share the good news and just love us, heal us. And him casting out demons, him just like doing all these things for his people, just because he wants us to live life to the fullest. And so that was just like a new revelation for me. I was like, what if we lived our life like that? Just everywhere we go, we're like, oh, how can I help you? How can I do this? How can I serve you? Like, imagine the world we live in if we just like tried for like 2 seconds to just not think about ourselves literally all the time and actually extend that grace and that love for other people to help them. And so that was the 3rd thing. And then the 4th thing is just how passionate God is. I know I will talk to people sometimes and I think they just view Christianity as this weak religion and as just this weak way of living life, and like, oh, like now I can't do this and that's just super lame and whatever else. And just how passionate he was, like his righteous anger in certain times in the Bible to stick up for the things and the people that he loves the most. Like, think of all the times maybe you've like cowered away from something because you didn't want to be an outsider, you didn't want people to think less of you, you didn't want people to gossip about you and talk about you, and so you abandoned the thing that actually mattered the most to you for social acceptance. And God didn't do that. Jesus didn't do that. He stayed true to the things that actually mattered to him in his heart and just in his life, and he was loyal to that. And that takes a lot of strength for a lot of human beings to do that. And so just remembering that God isn't like this little like punk that just like sways with the masses and does whatever, that he's a strong character, he's a strong man, he's a strong person, and he is extremely loyal and committed to the things that he loves. And that is, to me, that's incredibly respectable and admirable, and definitely character qualities that I want in myself and that I continue to strive to do in my personal life. And so, yeah, I hope that stood out to you too. Maybe something in there is something that you can also think on and reflect on and will just help you view God differently. And I just encourage you specifically, I know for me, the question that really stood out to me the most that I'm just going to continue asking every time I read the Bible is, what does this passage tell me about God? Because it's just so cool to actually get to know God. It's like when we're making friends or meeting people, I know some people don't. I guess some people are just incredibly selfish and just care about themselves. But other people, generally, you want to get to know them. Like, what are their interests? What do they like to do? What do they not like to do? What's their family history? What's their friend history? Like, what's their relationship history? Just all the details. And it's just so cool to do the same thing with God, because he's literally perfect and he's so amazing and just the friend that everyone wants and that you want and that I want. And so, yeah, I just encourage you to do the same as you continue to read the Bible. And yeah, that's all I have to say. But anyway, hope this helped in some ways, and I hope you have a really good day, and I'll talk to you next time.